Hi, this is Fran Smitherman here to show you how you can take sketches like the ones that we see in Creative Memories virtual crops each month and turn them into digital pages. Sometimes you just like to do digital because that's what you're working on, and sometimes you like it because you don't feel like getting out all your tools and you would rather just create a digital layout and have it printed as a 12 by 12 page print. So there's lots of reasons why we use digital. You can also do it at a crop, not have to bring a lot of stuff. So lots of reasons to love digital, but still be able to participate in virtual crops and sketch challenges and things like that. So just as an example, I thought I would show you what I did with this Creative Memory sketch that was issued this weekend. This is the first sketch. So you can see they clearly give numbers, which, measurements, which makes it very, very easy. You can see this is 1 3/4 inches wide by 3 inches long, and then it starts to get gradually shorter and then extends back out again. They give you the measurements of the circles, they give you the measurements of the photos, the mats, and this decorative bar down here. So it was really easy to do when you know what to cut in your digital scrapbooking software. So let me go ahead and hold on just 1 second. All right, let me show you what it looks like. So that is my quick version of this sketch. I used the Nordic Christmas paper and elements, which was originally a Creative Memory. So I feel good posting this in the CM Virtual Crop group because it is original Creative Memories art. So this is what I did. I chose to use some of the circles as embellishments and some of them I used as photos. I put the exact photo spots that they had in, but you do not have to do exactly what the sketch tells you. But I was pretty literal with this one. I put an embellishment here, just like they did in the sketch. And they had a couple of lines down here for journaling, but just for, ease and speed, I put a little journal box. So let me go ahead and show you what we're going to do. I'm going to minimize this, and then we're going to look in Artisan. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the Welcome tab of Artisan. I would choose to create a new project if you're going to start doing this on a regular basis. Even if you're not going to print these as a bound book, you can still do whatever you want with these individual pages. You can export them out as JPEGs. You can upload them to print as a 12 by 12 page print. You can pull them into another physical hardbound book project that you've got going on. You have all the specs and everything that you need to do when you start a book. So I actually started a book called My Virtual Crop Book. And so I'm going to use these to make layouts that are from sketches. So right now I'm in a page view, but what I would love to tell you to do in Artisan is go to View and All. And you can see when you do that, you've got a little workspace out here that you can put the sketch itself. So it helps helps you to be able to eyeball side by side as you're working and know that you're getting the measurements right. So I'm going to go to a new page and show you how I did that. So this is my layout. This is my blank canvas right here. I'm going to go out to my workspace where I have, turn that down. I have some images that I downloaded from the sketch challenge. I'm just going to take this one, I'm going to right click, copy, and I'm going to go back to my artisan project, and out in this space right here, I'm just going to paste it, slide it out there. I'm just using my scroll bar on my mouse to move things around. You can also use this bar right over here. There's more than one way to do anything in Artisan, that is for sure. But I want it to be big enough that I can see what I'm doing, but I also want to be able to, have a decent sized workspace over here. So what I would do is I would go over to your content tab, right? And I would find an art kit that matches the theme of whatever you're going to do, whether it's in your commercial art or your personal art kit. I know I use a ton of Creative Memories stuff. So we haven't really baked this year. So I don't think I'm going to choose Cookie Exchange, even though I'm absolutely dying to do that. I am going to use, let's see, I'm going to use, let's do full moon. All right, so we'll do that. And I am going to take a completely different path with this layout, okay? But in the content, you can see I've got papers, I've got my embellishments, and I've got shapes. I've got all the things that I want, and I can get the photos as I work. Thankfully, it talks to forever. So when it is time to get photos, I can just go up to forever and find whatever photos it is that I'm looking for. Or if I want to just get them off my desktop, I can be directed to there as well. But we'll do that in just a second. Not really worried about that right now. What I'm worried about is showing you how to cut these shapes. So let's get to our content panel and let's go to paper, which is this icon right here. And I'm going to look at these. I've got, like I said, we've got to make these 3 different shapes, because they start to repeat. But what we're going to do is we're going to make these first 3. So these are basically rectangles and circles. So I'm going to cut out shapes from paper to make those. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. It's very nice. Use this drop down menu right here, cut out a new shape. It's already a rectangle or a square at this point. So there it is. And I'm going to go up here where the width and the height are, and I'm going to change the width to 1.75. Just typing that in my numeric keypad, and then I'm going to change the height to 3. That's it. And then I'm going to align it right about there. All right. All right, and then we're going to do another one. So we'll take this paper right here, cut out a new shape, add that there, change this here. It is 1 3/4 inches wide, just like the other one, except for this one is 2.5 inches long. So we're going to slide that there. All right, and then how about this green? Cut out a new shape. Remembers where we were, so it's cutting out a square. All right, and we are going to change the width to that one, again, to 1.75, and the height is going to be a simple 2. All right, now, as you can see, these are the same, or the mirror image of these. So just to make things simple, I'm just going to copy these shapes, and I'm going to paste them. I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to right-click, copy, right-click, paste. I definitely recommend a mouse if you're using Artisan. There are lots of people that work around it, but it's just so much easier if you have it. So go ahead and make sure you have a mouse if you're using Artisan. Okay, now they're a little bit off, so I'm going to hold down the first one, hit the Shift key. Now select them all. I'm going to use my arrows to kind of just scoot them over. All right, there we go. All right, and it looks like now there are tools in Artisan that can help you space these evenly if you wanted to, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it for now. I don't want them hanging off the top of the page. I don't want there to be space up here. So I go ahead and get them all the way up to the top just to be safe, because it doesn't look good if you print it and they're not really all the way touching the top. Okay, so we don't want this to look like a complete mirror image, so I'm going to change the fill of these 3 right here, okay? So I'm going to select this shape. I'm going to click right-click, fill, and I can either choose the paper, but I think the fastest way to do it would be to select it. Go over here in your paper panel, drop down, fill selected shape. There you go. Same here, touch that, drop down, fill selected shape. And you can move this around if you want to see more of the stripes. You can size it differently, just like that. And then this one, let's see what we want this. This one's kind of busy. It's pumpkins. Fill selected shape. Okay, I want to make sure you can tell that it is pumpkin, so I'm going to go ahead and just size it that way. Okay, so that was the first part. The next part of the sketch is to add 1 3/4 inch circles. So I am going to choose to go to my cut ribbon here, and you will see that if I want to make a shape, I don't have anything to grab, okay? So the first thing you need to think about when you're doing this is that you have to select something. You have to have some element to cut, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, let's say we'll just take this black paper. I'm going to cut out a new shape. Select a shape. Right now it's on rectangle, but I'm going to choose ellipse, which basically makes it a circle. All right, so I'm going to click OK. Now I've got a circle. Now it tells us that that needs to be 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and change the width and the height. 1 3/4. There we go. All right, so there is our circle. I'm just going to I'm going to keep the stroke on. You'll see why in a little bit. And there's no rule that we have to keep this paper here. I mean, we can right click, fill this with a solid color. You know, we can sample any of the colors on this page if we want, like this orange or this light green. Might just do something like that. Okay. And I'm just going to copy this and paste it and paste it and paste it and paste it and paste it. So now we've got the exact same size circles everywhere. And I'm just going to take each one and just kind of move it to the right spot underneath each bar. All right, so they're just kind of stacked up on top of each other right here, as you can see. All right, and we can change the colors and the fill of all these. I'm just trying to get the identical shape for all of them. And if you want to use your alignment tools, you can make sure they are lining up across the top or the bottom of whatever one you're trying to get. So that one looks like it's lined up with the top and the bottom of the far left one. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna, let's see, maybe I'll fill this one with a little bit of pumpkin color, fill selected shape. All right, and then maybe I will fill this one with this nice yellow, fill selected shape. Actually some little chevrons, and then I could keep that one there like that. And then maybe I could fill this one with pumpkin would be way too busy at this point. I'm gonna actually keep that one black. Fill selected shape, a little bit of moon. And then this one I will fill with something relatively solid because that's such a busy paper. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, so we've got those. So those the biggest cuts really that we have to do on this layout. Now, for the background, I would try to look for something that maybe we haven't used yet, because you definitely want to have some sort of a contrast. I'm going to see what this looks like. I don't know. We will see. But right now, I'm just going to try that as my background. It's kind of cool, but I don't know if anybody would look at that and just automatically think Halloween. But let's see. Maybe let's try this one. That's nice. I'm going to leave that one. Okay, so if you look at the sketch down at the bottom, there is a 12-inch by 1 1/4 inch kind of banner or bar. I'm going to do something kind of different here. If you preview this page, look at that. That is so cute. It's like it's already cut for me, but how do I get that is the question. All right, I'm going to show you. So if I'm going to cut this, I am going to cut out a new shape of this. And I am going to, let's see, we're going to go do a rectangle, select shape, and I'm going to move this right here. And these bars are going to let me drag it down to what I want to cut. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say, okay. And there it is. I mean, isn't this software amazing? Now, most of the time, you're not going to have a paper that actually has a cute little bar like that, but we kind of lucked out here. All right, so we do that. Then our next step is going to be 3.5 by 5.5 photos, and then a 3.5 by 5.5 photo, and then one more that's actually, they should have called this one 5.5 by 3.5 if you ask me. Usually when you talk about dimensions, you're going to talk about the width and the height, but we see what they're doing here. All right, so I'm going to insert some empty photo frames. Empty frame. All right, and I can go up here just like we did with the other things, and I can type that I want it to be 5.5 by 3.5. Okay. Oh man, undo. Oh boy, that's not what we wanted at all. I must have grabbed the wrong thing. Hold on just a second. Now there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, 3.5, 5.5, 5.5 by 3.5. Okay. All right, and just to keep it easy on ourselves, why don't we just take this and copy it? We don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. Maybe shrink it some. I don't want to distort it, but I don't want it to eat up too much space. Okay, so we're gonna put this here, and I'm gonna copy that, paste, and you cannot just take this photo and rotate it or your photos would be sideways. So I do need to make a new one for this one. Empty frame. Okay, let's go over here. And this one is actually going to be 3.5 by 5.5, just like they say. All right, so there we go. And if we don't want this to be covering this circle, it looks like it's tucked underneath here. Easy peasy. All we have to do is we can drag it down this way. Another way we could have done it would be to right click, change the order, move to the back, move back. You know, there's more than one way to do just about anything in this program. So let's move this down just a little bit. It looks like they've all got mats around them that are they've got mats that are 6x4 behind them, but in Artisan, you can actually just select all of those. I did that by holding down the Shift key, touch photo, choose a mat. You can fill it with whatever you want. I'm going to fill it with, say, black. All right. I can make it a little wider if I want, have a little bit more of an impact. We'll go ahead and do that. Click OK. And there we go. Now, if you think about what I did with these circles in the other layout, I had a couple of photos in some of them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 would be the best way to do that. So I'm going to create, insert, let's do a shape. I'm going to do an ellipse. I am going to, maybe I'll just try keeping the stroke. I am going to fill. Let's see, we'll leave that alone right now. I'm actually going to change the shape. If we knew that these circles were 1 3/4, I'm going to make this photo just a little smaller, 1.5 by 1.5. How about that? 1.5. Create. All right, and I'm going to right click, fill, convert to a photo drop point. All right, now let's go ahead and put that there. Right click, copy. Let's do 2 more. Right click, paste. And we'll put these little guys here and this little guy here. How about that? All right, and then in the other ones, I had some little embellishments. So I think a bat's cute. And I'm going to change, I'm going to go ahead and fix the aspect ratio because I'm going to shrink it and I don't want it to get distorted. So I'm going to pull it down from the left corner. Maybe I'll kind of tilt it a little bit, kind of put him in there. Let's see what else is cute. Ooh, that's cute. Add to page. Right click. Let is fix the aspect ratio. And you can set your Artisan so that you don't have to constantly adjust the aspect ratio. It's just your preference. Put that there, and I think we can make that pumpkin a little bigger. And I love candy corn. There's no way I'm going to say no to candy corn. Right click, aspect ratio, lock aspect ratio. Let's shrink that guy down. Okay, maybe a little bit smaller. And let's throw in a tilt. Put him there. He's up against some orange, so I'm probably going to go format, heavy shadow, give it a little more contrast. And actually, I think all of these would look good with the shadow. So I'm going to select them all by touching it over here on the Elements panel, hold down the Shift key, heavy shadow. There we go. Kind of gives it a little bit more of a 3D effect. So you can kind of have that feeling that it's similar to a traditional scrapbook page with some dimension. So the last thing we need to do is find some photos. So let's go up to our photos, get photos. I'm going to go to Forever because that's where I keep all my photos. I keep them in albums for the most part. I try to stay very organized. You know, I'm not perfect, but I try to stay pretty up to date with mine. So let's see, maybe I'll do some of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Why not? Let's see, we can get Oogie Boogie and we can get Facilier and we'll get, let's see, these pictures here. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more picture. So let's choose. Let's see, that would be a good one for a small one. So let's import these in. All right. It's going to take just a second. So this is waiting on the internet to pull these down. If you have your photos on your desktop, you know, you can pull them in just the same. I just like to work from Forever because that's where I have everything organized the best. So it's bringing these photos in. Okay, so they should be over here in my photo panel now. And I am just going to, let's see, this one is a good vertical, horizontal. All right, and I can zoom in a little bit like that. And then I'm going to put this one here. And I'm going to put Oogie Boogie and Facile up in these small ones, kind of highlight the characters. And it looks like I may not have grabbed a couple of them. Let me try. I must have not hit. Let's try Halloween one more time. All right, let's see. This was Mickey's Not So Scary. Let's hit a couple more of them. We'll get them, and we will get, how about, let's see. I think I'm trying to watch the screen and I'm not touching the right buttons on the keyboard. I'm sorry about that. All right, so those should be in there now. All right, so we're going to add those guys there. All right, and I can always lift it up. And then I've got one more spot here, and that's going to be that. So if I want to zoom in more, I can, just like that. And if I want to add an embellishment, because you see this sketch has a little embellishment here, or if I want to add some sort of saying, text box, costume contest, beware of our cute pet. Nope, none of those are relevant. Give me all the candy. Yeah, we definitely, oh, time for some hocus. Oh, gosh, are you kidding me? Okay, time for some hocus pocus. Exactly. There we go. We'll put that right there, and I'm done. So that is how you can quickly turn a Creative Memories virtual crop sketch into a digital layout using Creative Memories digital art if you want. So hope that helped and can't wait to see what else you can do.